أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لإيلاف قريش إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. This week we begin the tafsir of the Surah Quraish. To understand the Surah properly is uh, very linked with the Surah before preceding the Surah, Surah Fil, Alam tara kayfa fa'ala rabbuka bi ashabil fil. To the extent that some of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum would recite these two surahs together in Salah, and sometimes they would recite these surahs without even reciting Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim in between, to show how closely these two surahs they are linked to one another. So in the surah preceding this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the people of the elephants, Ashabul Fil, and how when the people of the elephants, Abraha and his army, they came to attack Makkah, the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed Abraha and his army of elephants and protected the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then this surah, لإيلاف قريش, and as a result of this, because the Quraysh were the custodians of the Kaaba, and they were the people who used to reside in Makkah. Even from beforehand, the people held the Quraysh in high esteem, used to have a lot of reverence, a lot of respect for these people. But after this event, the reverence of the people of Quraysh increased even more, and because of that incident, even the trade, etc., like we'll mention as we go along in the surah, it was a means of ease for them. They could travel and they weren't looted, and it became very easy for them. So we take a look at this. لإيلاف قريش. The word إيلاف comes from the word ulfa, and ulfa is when you have a person develops a soft heart and he starts to have feelings of affection towards somebody. So that's where إيلاف comes from, this word ulfa. Now when you bring it in Arabic, you say ثلاثي مزيد في. You can either bring it for students of grammar. If it comes on the wazn of if'al, babu if'al, you say alaf yulifu ilafan, like it's here. So one, you can change it in Arabic morphology. You can bring it on the pattern of babu if'al, alaf yulifu ilafan. Or if you bring it on the pattern of mufa'ala, babu mufa'ala, taf'il, allafa yu'allifu ta'lifan. Now both of these two have been mentioned in the Quran in the pattern of if'al here, لإيلاف, and in another place in the Quran Allah mentions يا أيها الذين آمنوا اذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ كنتم أعداء فألف بين قلوبكم فأصبحتم بنعمته إخوانا. There ألف يؤلف تأليف was used. So فألف بين قلوبكم. So what is the difference between the word ألف, using the word ألف, and آلف? So ألف means like in that verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is referring to the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, that you pre-Islam, remember the favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon you, when pre-Islam you used to be enemies, but through the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِكُمْ, He made your hearts soft and brought your hearts together. And this is something that happened gradually. When you say ta'leef, is to make love happen, the hearts are softened, and this love and the feelings of affection, they grow, but it happens gradually over a period of time. It doesn't happen suddenly. The Sahaba radiallahu anhum, this love and affection between them, it didn't just happen overnight, but gradually it happened. But here, for sudden affection, it happens like straight away. Use the word ilaf. So it's not ta'leef. If it was from allafa yu'allifu, it would have been li ta'leefi Quraysh, but here li ilafi Quraysh. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given these people so many favors that their hearts should become soft because of the favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon these people. لإيلاف قريش, for the people of Quraysh. Now, even the letter lam at the beginning, this again holds many meanings, two of which are, one way it's interpreted is that we did this, that referring back to the previous surah, that the destruction, how Abraham and his army, they were destroyed, it was a favor from us towards those who live around the sacred house. So, according to one opinion, that Islam, it connects this previous surah, Alam tara kayfa fa'ala rabbuka bi ashabil fil, to this surah. And another opinion is that Islam is in the meaning of ta'ajjub, the amazement. Oh, Ya Rasul, when this surah has been revealed to Rasulullah, be amazed at these people, be amazed. How amazing is it that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can soften the heart of the Quraysh, even though they are so drowned in their sinful ways of polytheism and shirk. Even then, what an amazing extension of Allah's mercy, the mercy of Allah is shown upon these people. So one is that Islam, it connects the previous surah to this surah, and another interpretation is that Islam is for ta'ajjub, that it should be these people a sign of amazement that even after the ways of the Quraysh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can soften the hearts of these people and can give these people so much. And then the word Quraysh comes, okay, where does the word Quraysh originate from? You see, Quraysh is talking about the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We won't go into detail about that. But where does the word Quraysh come from? There are a few opinions. Let's go over a few. One is that it comes from the word taqarrush, and this, that they were, because of the Quraysh, they were obviously they were from many different places. They came from different places, and these people, they came and settled down in the place of Makkah. So this is one meaning of the word Quraysh. This is where the origin of the word Quraysh comes from. And they were a gathering of many people that were dispersed, and they came together and they settled down in the vicinity of Makkah. Another meaning is that it comes from the word qarsh. Qarsh is referred to a massive beast in the ocean, like a whale or something. And this beast used to destroy ships. And this, in the Arabic dictionaries, it has been mentioned that it's a beast that cannot be overpowered except by fire. And obviously, in the water, basically it cannot be destroyed, because obviously fire does not work in the water. This was the saying of the Arabs. And from this Qarsh, you get Quraysh. So Quraysh is in Arabic you have the concept of Ismut Tasghir. So a small-end version of that Qarsh is not as so like the Qarsh, the beast was very powerful in the ocean. Same way the people of Quraysh, they were also very powerful. So another example of Ismut Tasghir that you commonly can come across is the word Abd, means servant of Allah. Ubaid, Ismut Tasghir, a small slave of Allah. Umar, Umayr, Hassan, Hussein, these are all Ismut Tasghir. And sometimes the Tasghir is used when you can, usually when you make it small in something, you make something small, but it can also be used to magnify something. The example, sometimes you call a tall person, you call them short. So it's just a play of words. And so they used to refer to the Quraysh as Quraysh because of their resemblance, because they used to hold a lot of power, and they were very high, and they used to held a lot of respect within the people, and the people looked up to the Quraysh as people that were very high in society. So this was Ilafi Quraysh. Then in the second verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala again, he repeats the word Ilafihim Rihlat ash-shita'i was-sayf. Okay, and on the first verse again, some people translate this Ilaf as because of the security enjoined by the Quraysh. Then Ilafihim, and the familiarity with traveling in the winter and the summer. So again, Ilafihim, why has been mentioned a second time? Even in all languages, it is done when you repeat a word. So to give emphasis to a word, a repetition is used. The same way here, for the emphasis, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala repeats that word. For the ilaf, so I'll give the meaning, for their softening of their hearts, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did so many favors for these people that He destroyed Abraham's army for them. He gave them the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for worship. They are the descendants of Ibrahim alayhi salam. and they are the people to whom the final messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sent. So all of these things were enough, should have been enough to soften the hearts of these people. And again, ilafihim, and to soften their hearts for rihlat al-shita'i, with traveling in the winter and the summer. Rihlat al-shita'i was-sayf. Okay. Then, okay, what does the word rihla mean? Rihla means to travel, but in Arabic there are a few words that are used for travel. So why rihla? Other words that you can have, safar. We all used to this word. We will come across this word safar. You're going on safar, musafir. So safar means to travel long distance, far away. Another word, saha, in comes to siyaha, is to go somewhere for luxury, just to go for a stroll or for something pleasant. Another word, Va'an, is to travel from one spot to another, to constantly move around, tourism. So what is rihla? Rihla comes from the word rahl, and rahl means merchandise, means luggage. So when a person like this, rihla is a type of journey when a person has a lot of bags, a lot of baggage. A journey when you have to carry a lot of things. So when these people would travel, the people, so a special reminder from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to these people, when these people would do their business, would transactions, 2 times in the year, they would go, their caravans made an annual trip yearly to Yemen in the winter, and a summer trip to Sham, to Syria, for trade in the summer. So they usually used to make 2 trips, one to Yemen in the winter and one to Sham, Syria in the summer. And obviously when they used to travel, at that time used to have a lot of people on the roads that would try and loot the caravans that would go by. So now, number one, these people they used to travel, they used to take a lot of luggage, they used to take a lot of merchandise. But because of the favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon these people, despite them taking so much luggage, so much merchandise, even though they were an open enemy for the people, open targets for the people en route to their journeys to Yemen and to Syria, nobody would attack these people. They would be able to travel with ease because of the favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon these people. Why? Because when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed the army of Abraham and his elephants, this news they spread in the Arabian Peninsula, and all the people they began to hold even more high reverence for these people. That these people, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, protected these people from Abraham and his army, even Abraham and his army were destroyed. So we should stay away, we should step back, we shouldn't do anything to these people. So they enjoyed a special security, special favors from Allah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding them that especially the 2 trips in the summer and the winter to these places. And as a result, they because of these trips, the economy was good. These people, they had an abundance of food, abundance of wealth, and the economy was good. Even though if you look at Makkah is a barren place. When Ibrahim he makes the dua, Inni askantu min dhurriyyati, that it refers to I'm leaving my children here in a place which is barren, nothing grows there. But because of the favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, these people they were allowed, they could travel, and they would bring a lot of merchandise back to Makkah, and the economy, they had plenty of food to eat for themselves and the people of Quraysh as well, and the other people. So they didn't have to struggle for food, etc. And they not only they benefited easily, and they lived quite well. They didn't struggle in terms of the economy, in terms of food. Then why does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mention Shita first and then Sayf second? Shita is referring to the winter, and then Sayf is referring to the summer. So even though especially back then, winter is not the time for produce. Produce is normally you get in the summer. Fruits and all of these things, they are grown and you get them harvested in the summertime. But these people, because of the faith of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon these people, even in the winter period, they used to get produce, they used to get food in the winter period, and this was a special favor of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from them. So in Tabari and Qurtubi, they mention that winter is associated with lack of food, and the warm climate was when the thief tribes would steal, the bandits would steal from caravans. And in the summer period, So in the winter period, the thieves, they would stay inside in the winters because it was really cold. So in the winter, even though despite it being cold, not usually you get produce in the winter, the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala still provided for these people that they could get their produce, they could trade in the winter period, and in the summer period, they were safe from the enemy, they were safe from the bandits and people attacking. There was no fear of anyone attacking their caravans. So this was رحلة الشتاء والصيف. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions فَلْيَعْبُدُوا رَبَّ هَذَا الْبَيْتِ. So let them worship Allah, enslave themselves to the Lord of this house. So the favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cannot be counted. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them so many favors. So some the scholars mention this it connects because of this the security enjoyed by these people, because of the favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon these people, and He should make their hearts soft, that they should, as a result, they should worship the Rabb Hadha al-Bayt, the Rabb of this house, referring to the Kaaba. And especially these one favor that's mentioned in the previous verse, رحلة الشتاء والصيف. This was something very open, they could see with their own eyes. There are many favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but their economy was well, they had plenty of food to eat, and their trade was working well. So minimum they should فَلْيَعْبُدُوا رَبَّ هَذَا الْبَيْتِ. They should worship the Rabb of this house. And why هَذَا الْبَيْتِ, the Kaaba has been mentioned specifically? Because it was because of the blessings of the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that the Abraham and his army were destroyed. Because of the blessing of the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is where Ibrahim alayhi salam, he made his dua, and he says in one place in the Quran, وَإِذْ قَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ رَبِّ جَعَلْ هَذَا بَلَدًا آمِنًا. Ibrahim alayhi salam, he made special dua upon the construction of the house of Allah, make this place, this area safe. Amina. One dua he made, that give these people security, make it safe for them. Amina وَرَزُقْ أَهْلَهُ مِنَ الثَّمَرَاتِ, and provide sustenance, provide thamarat for these people. So both the du'as of Ibrahim alayhi salam, one was for security, and one was that these people, they enjoy a good economy, they enjoy good sustenance, good food, thamarat, and the people should incline the hearts towards them. Then after this, الَّذِي أَطْعَمَهُمْ مِنْ جُوعٍ وَآمَنَهُمْ مِنْ خَوْفٍ. He who fed them against hunger and has made them safe from fear. So again, referring to the Quraysh, أَطْعَمَهُمْ مِنْ جُوعٍ, fed them against hunger because of the favor of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These people, they enjoyed food with ease, and they had no problems in regards to their food, because their caravans could travel very easily and return very easily without fear of being attacked. وَآمَنَهُمْ مِنْ خَوْفٍ. Again, both of these are connected. الَّذِي أَطْعَمَهُمْ مِنْ جُوعٍ وَآمَنَهُمْ مِنْ خَوْفٍ. And again, so another thing, رِحْلَةَ الشِّتَاءِ وَالصَّيْفِ, there the winter was mentioned first, and then the summer was mentioned second. And here أَطْعَمَهُمْ مِنْ جُوعٍ وَآمَنَهُمْ مِنْ خَوْفٍ. The hunger, feeding them against hunger was mentioned first. وَآمَنَهُمْ مِنْ خَوْفٍ, that was mentioned second. Because the context of this surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about, mainly the main point is here, is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He allowed these people to trade safely, and how the economy was kept well, and they had plenty of food to eat. So He's most suitable to mention أَطْعَمَهُمْ مِنْ جُوعٍ, and feeding them against hunger first, and then after that وَآمَنَهُمْ مِنْ خَوْفٍ, security against fear, the security was mentioned second. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us as well the ability to understand this surah and take lessons from this surah. One thing that we can learn, so a person, you get two types of people. One is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them an abundance of wealth or abundance of favors. So this person will, number one, he can be of one type, is that he can just pursue, try to seek the dunya more, try and gain more and more worldly benefits, and try to increase his worldly luxuries and spend more of his time in the dunya. On the other hand, a person can think, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given me so much wealth, what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want from me? Now I should try, at least I don't have to worry about other things like other people do. I don't have to make that much effort for my dunya, for my food. There's food on my plate, I have clothes to wear, I have a roof over my head. that now I should make myself free for the ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَلْيَعْبُدُوا رَبَّ هَذَا الْبَيْتِ. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions here, these people of Quraysh, they had so much. They did not have to go that extra mile. They did not have to go out their way to seek food and etc. So these people, they had a lot of time. They were free for the worship of Allah. They were free for the worship of the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So again, we should ask ourselves that if Allah, especially if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put us in that position where we have all the worldly things that we need, we should try and give more time for the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and prepare for the hereafter and try to live a life pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ameen. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.